She declared, "I will destroy your reputation in our friend circle. They love me more." Post-breakup. I said, "All yours." When they found out she'd been lying about why we split and I had proof, the friend group made their own choices. I, 28 male, ended things with Melody, 26, 3 weeks ago after catching her in bed with her study partner from nursing school. Yeah, walking in on that cliché was about as fun as it sounds. We'd been together for 3 years, lived together for 1. When I confronted her right there, she didn't even try to deny it. Just shrugged and said, "Well, you're never around anyway." I work as a sound engineer for live events, which means irregular hours and weekend gigs. But that's how I'd been paying most of our rent while she finished school. I packed a bag, crashed at my buddy Terrence's place that night. Next morning, I texted her that I'd be by to get my stuff, and she needed to be moved out by month's end, since the lease was solely in my name. Her response? A voice message that still makes my blood boil. "You think you can just kick me out? Our entire friend group loves me way more than you. I'll tell them exactly what kind of person you are. How you abandoned me, how controlling you were, how you made me feel so alone I had to find comfort elsewhere. By the time I'm done, you won't have a single friend left. They'll all choose me. Watch." I texted back, "All yours." She thought I was giving up. Nah. I just knew something she didn't. I'd been screen recording on my laptop that was still open on the kitchen counter when I walked in. It captured audio of the whole confrontation, including her admission and her boy toy scrambling to get dressed while calling me a loser who works weekends. The laptop was there because I'd been editing audio from a concert earlier. Pure coincidence, but what a beautiful one. The smear campaign started immediately. Within 48 hours, I was getting messages from our mutual friends. Apparently, I was now an abusive, controlling partner who monitored her every move, isolated her from friends, and emotionally neglected her to the point where she made a mistake out of desperation. She was telling people I'd been verbally abusive, that I controlled the finances to keep her dependent, that I threatened her when she tried to leave. Our friend group of about 12 people initially split. Her 3 closest girlfriends, Luna, Destiny, and Jade, immediately took her side and started subtweeting about men who can't handle independent women. 2 of the guys, Rico and Damien, who always had a thing for her, were Team Melody from Jump. They shared her posts about surviving emotional abuse and finding strength after trauma. But here's where it gets interesting. 5 people reached out to me privately, confused. Our friend Konstantin, who'd known me since middle school, straight up said, "Bro, this doesn't sound like you at all. What really happened?" I told him and the others the same thing. There's more to this story. Give me a few days. See, Melody forgot that our friend group isn't just random people. We're all connected through the local music and arts scene. I've done sound for half their bands, recorded demos in my home studio, helped them with their events. They knew my work schedule wasn't about control, it was about paying bills. They'd seen me support Melody through school, driving her to clinics at 5 a.m. for rotations, making her flashcards, celebrating every exam she passed. But I didn't defend myself immediately. Let her dig that hole deeper. Update 1. The entitlement escalated fast. Melody showed up at my apartment. She'd moved in with Luna temporarily, demanding I give her my recording equipment because I traumatized her and owe her compensation for emotional damage. She brought Rico and Damien as muscle, I guess. They stood behind her, trying to look intimidating while she listed everything she deserved. My audio interface, my vintage mic collection, even my laptop because we shared it. We didn't, she just used it sometimes for Netflix. I calmly told her to leave. She started recording on her phone, trying to provoke me. See how cold he is? No emotion at all. This is the real him, everyone. I just stood there, arms crossed, waiting. When I wouldn't engage, she switched tactics, started fake crying about how I ruined her life and she needed those things to rebuild. Rico stepped forward. "Come on, man, just give her something. You really hurt her." Me? She can take what's hers. Nothing here is hers. That's when Melody made mistake number 1. She screamed, "I deserve something for wasting 3 years with you. You owe me. I supported your career." I laughed. Couldn't help it. Supported my career? You complained every single time I had a gig. You spent the money I made from those gigs. What exactly did you support? She lost it. Started calling me every name in the book, saying I was nothing without her, that she made me better, that I was lucky she even looked at me. Damien was recording everything on his phone, thinking he was helping her cause. They left after I threatened to call the cops. But Melody wasn't done. She started showing up at venues where I work. Told the manager at one spot that I was dangerous and shouldn't be around female performers. Fortunately, the manager, Beth, has known me for 6 years and immediately called BS. But Melody didn't know that Beth called me right after, giving me a heads up. Then came the group chat explosion. Melody added everyone to a new group, excluding me, and posted a long message about needing community support and asking people to block me for her safety. She included screenshots of texts, except they were edited. She'd changed my messages to make normal conversations look threatening. But she messed up. One of the screenshots showed a conversation dated from when I was documented as being at a festival 2 states away, running sound for a band. Constantine noticed immediately because he was at that same festival with me. He screenshotted her fake evidence before she could delete it. The group started questioning things. That's when Melody played her next card. She claimed she was pregnant and I'd abandoned her while carrying my child. The sympathy swing was immediate and dramatic. Even the friends who'd been neutral started sending me angry messages. Luna posted a fundraiser for Melody's pregnancy journey as a single mother. One small problem: I'd had a vasectomy 2 years ago. Melody knew this. We discussed it extensively when we got serious. I had the paperwork to prove it. Time to end this. Update 2. I organized a gathering at my place. Invited everyone from the group except Melody, Luna, Destiny, and Jade, her core supporters. 8 people showed up, including Constantin, Beth from the venue, my roommate Terrence, and even Rico, who was starting to have doubts after the pregnancy announcement seemed sudden. I had everything ready. 1. The audio recording from the night I caught her. 2. Screenshots of her actual texts versus her edited versions. 3. My vasectomy documentation from 2 years ago. 4. Security footage from my apartment building showing her and her boy toy entering together multiple times when I was at work. Building manager was very helpful after I explained the situation. 5. Timestamps proving I was at documented gigs during times she claimed I was controlling and monitoring her month. But the real kicker? Melody's study partner, turned out his name was Garrett, had reached out to me on Instagram. He was pissed because Melody had told him we were broken up months ago, and he was just finding out from mutual connections that wasn't true. He sent me screenshots of their conversations dating back 4 months, including her saying things like, "My ex still pays for the apartment, but he's never there, and we're basically just roommates now." I played the audio first. Everyone heard her admission, heard Garrett calling me a loser, heard her complete lack of remorse. The room was dead silent. Then I showed the vasectomy papers. Rico's jaw dropped. "But she said she's pregnant with your..." "Yeah, about that. Either she's lying or it's not mine. Take your pick." Constantine was furious. Not at me, at her. She made us all look like idiots. I've been defending her to people. The group decided to confront her together. I said I wanted no part of it, but they could do whatever they wanted with the information. The video from that confrontation, Rico recorded it, was something. They met her at a coffee shop. When presented with the evidence, she tried to deny it at first. Then when they played the audio, she switched to justifying it. Then when they brought up the pregnancy lie, she broke down and admitted she wasn't pregnant at all. She just wanted people to support her financially through the fundraiser Luna had set up. Luna and Destiny were shook. Jade tried to defend her still, saying everyone makes mistakes when they're hurt. But when Garrett himself showed up, Rico had reached out to him and confirmed everything. Even Jade couldn't spin it. The fallout was swift. Luna demanded her money back from the fundraiser. About $800 had been raised. The group chat exploded with people calling Melody out. She tried damage control, claimed I'd manipulated evidence, that Garrett was lying, that everyone was ganging up on her. But then Damien, who'd been Team Melody from the start, dropped a bomb. He'd been suspicious after the apartment confrontation and had done some digging. Found Melody's Hinge profile, active for the past 6 months, where she listed herself as single and ready to mingle. He'd matched with her using a fake profile just to see, and she'd been messaging him, not knowing it was him, about how she was totally available and living alone. The friend group imploded. Luna kicked Melody out. The fundraiser was refunded. People started publicly calling her out on social media, not even subtly. The narrative completely flipped. Final update: Melody didn't go quietly. When the friend group turned on her, she went nuclear. First, she tried to get me fired. Called my company claiming I'd been recording people without consent at venues. Except I work in live sound. Recording is literally part of my job, and all venues have signs about audio-video recording. My boss thought it was hilarious. Then she contacted my ex before her, trying to build some kind of coalition against me. My ex, Brianna, immediately forwarded me the messages and said, "This girl is psycho. You dodged a bullet." We hadn't talked in 2 years, but even she could see through the BS. But she didn't stop there. The entitlement spiraled into complete delusion. She started contacting my clients directly. I'm talking bands I'd worked with, venue owners, event coordinators. Her story kept changing depending on who she talked to. To the female-fronted indie band I'd recorded, I was a predator. To the Christian rock group, I was a drug addict who'd steal their equipment. To the jazz club owner, I was unreliable and had mental health issues that make him dangerous. Thank God I'd built solid relationships over 6 years. Every single person she contacted called me immediately. The jazz club owner, Frank, was particularly pissed. "This crazy woman just tried to tell me you're unstable. Tyler, you've never even been late to a gig. What the hell is her problem?" The peak entitlement was when she showed up at a gig I was working, a pretty big show for a local band's album release. She'd bought a ticket, waited until soundcheck, then tried to rush the stage. She had a whole speech prepared, claiming she had an announcement about the sound engineer that everyone needed to hear for their safety. Security grabbed her before she could get to the mic, but she screamed it anyway. Tyler is a narcissistic abuser who records women without consent. The crowd of about 200 early arrivals went quiet. I was frozen at the soundboard, my reputation flashing before my eyes. Then Harrison, the lead singer, grabbed the mic. "Well, that's weird because Tyler here has been nothing but professional, and considering I'm gay and happily married to my husband over there," he pointed to his partner at the merch table, "I'm pretty sure he's not secretly recording me. Also, we literally pay him to record us. It's his job." The crowd started laughing. Someone yelled, "Get a life, lady." Security escorted her out while she kept screaming about justice and how we'd all regret this. But even that wasn't her final act. But the real consequences hit when her nursing school found out about the fake pregnancy fundraiser. See, Luna had donated through the school's student support network, which meant there was a paper trail. Academic integrity violation for fraud. Melody wasn't expelled, but she was suspended for a semester and lost her clinical placement spot. The nursing school thing got worse for her. Turns out, when you're suspended for fraud, other nursing programs don't exactly welcome you with open arms. She tried transferring to 3 different schools. All rejected her once they did a background check. Her dream of being a nurse? Pretty much torched. She tried one last manipulation, sent me a long email about how I'd ruined her future, and she was considering legal action for defamation. She accused me of orchestrating a conspiracy against her, claimed I'd hacked her phone to create fake evidence, said I'd turned everyone against her through psychological manipulation. The email was unhinged, 3,000 words of pure delusion. She demanded $50,000 for damages to her reputation and career, or she'd take me to court. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend, who sent back a cease and desist, reminding her that truth is an absolute defense against defamation, and that I had extensive documentation of her lies, fraud, and harassment. He also pointed out that her email constituted attempted extortion and suggested she seek legal counsel before digging herself deeper. She's blocked everywhere now. Last I heard through the grapevine, she moved back to her hometown, told everyone there that our entire city was toxic, and she was starting fresh. But wait, there's more. About 2 weeks after she left, I got a call from her dad. Yeah, her dad. This 55-year-old man called me to say I needed to man up and take Melody back because you don't abandon someone you love over a mistake. I told him his daughter didn't make a mistake. She made choices, repeatedly, for months. He tried the "but she's young and confused" angle. She's 26, not 16. Then he hit me with, "I know how much she meant to you." I laughed and said, "Your daughter meant so little to me that I didn't even cry when I caught her cheating. I was just disappointed in my own judgment." He called me heartless and hung up. Found out later from Garrett, we actually became weird friends through this mess, that Melody had told her parents I'd cheated first, and she was just trying to make me jealous. Her mom even posted on Facebook about boys who can't appreciate good women. The delusion runs in the family, apparently. Garrett dumped her the second he found out about the fake pregnancy scam. But here's the tea. He also found out she'd been seeing 2 other guys besides him. One was a resident at the hospital where she did clinicals. The other was some crypto bro she met on Bumble. Girl was running a whole rotation while living in my apartment rent-free. Even Jade finally cut her off after Melody tried to borrow $2,000 for legal fees to sue Tyler. When Jade asked for details, Melody couldn't even keep her story straight about what she was supposedly suing me for. First it was defamation, then emotional distress, then theft of shared property. We had no shared property. Then alienation of affection from her friends. That's not even how that law works. The friend group survived, but it's different now. We're closer in some ways. Trauma bonding is real. But there's also this awareness that we were all so easily manipulated. Rico apologized to me like 50 times. He even Venmo'd me $100 with the note, "Sorry for being an idiot." I sent it back, but he sent it again with, "Please just take it." So I donated it to a local venue's sound equipment fund in his name. Damien and I are actually cool now. He felt horrible about taking her side initially. Turns out, Melody had been feeding him lies about me for months, telling him I was jealous of his music career. He's in a metal band, and that I deliberately gave them bad sound at a show once. Complete fiction. We actually collaborated on his band's new EP last month, and it sounds killer. The wildest reconciliation was with Luna. She came to my apartment with a bottle of whiskey and just said, "I need to apologize properly." We talked for 3 hours. She told me Melody had been poisoning her against me for over a year, claiming I was controlling, that I monitored Melody's phone, that I wouldn't let her go out with friends. Luna said she started noticing inconsistencies, like Melody would say I was controlling her whereabouts, then post Instagram stories of her out at clubs while I was working. "I should have known," Luna said. She was always at girls' nights, always going to parties, always doing whatever she wanted. What controlling boyfriend allows that? Luna and Konstantin started dating a few weeks after everything went down. Nobody saw it coming, but apparently bonding over being deceived by the same person is a weird but effective foundation. They're disgustingly happy. Destiny pretends the whole thing never happened. She'll be mid-conversation, and if anyone brings up anything tangentially related to the Melody situation, she just goes, "Anyway, about that new Thai place." Girl is the queen of deflection. I think she's embarrassed about starting that fundraiser. Jade moved to another city for work, but I think the embarrassment was part of it. Before she left, she sent me a long text apologizing for enabling Melody and saying she'd been blinded by girl code. I appreciated it, but we both knew our friendship was cooked. 2 people never came back to the group. One was this guy Nolan, who apparently had been hooking up with Melody during our relationship, found this out later from Garrett. He just disappeared from all social media. The other was Destiny's roommate Simone, who still maintains I'm probably guilty of something because nobody's that calm unless they're hiding something. Can't win 'em all. As for me, I'm good. Better than good, actually. That vintage mic she tried to claim? Used it to record an EP for a band that just got signed to a decent label. They're taking me on tour as their sound engineer next month. 3 months of solid work, good pay, and no toxic girlfriend making me feel guilty about it. The apartment's quieter now. Terrence moved in officially, pays his half of everything on time, and doesn't steal my equipment or claim phantom pregnancies. It's nice. To everyone saying I should have exposed her immediately, maybe. But watching her dig her own grave while thinking she was burying me, that was worth the wait. She wanted to destroy my reputation, but ended up nuking her own. She thought our friends loved her more, but love built on lies doesn't last when the truth has receipts. The moral of the story? When someone threatens to turn everyone against you, sometimes the best response really is all yours. Let them tell their story first, because when the truth comes out, and it always does, the contrast makes them look even worse. Also, always password protect your laptop. Mine being open that day was dumb luck, but it saved my ass. Oh, and get a vasectomy receipt. Apparently, that's important.